Okay, let me try this again. Okay. There. Well, hold on, let me fix my hair really quickly. I'm really sick, so I don't know if you could. You probably can. So, there's two games. You play the first game, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this game is awesome. I love killing people. I love shooting people. I love the scenery. I love the storyline. I love everything about this game." And you finish it. You're like, "Yeah!" You finish the story. You're like, "Yes, I love it. This is great. I love the guns. I love the combat. I love the driving sequences. I love all of it." But then you find out about the second one, and you're like, "Oh, they made a second one? That's great." So you play the second one, and you had an image of what the first game was like, right? Everybody has perspective on life, right? So you play this, you finally find out about the second one, and you start playing the second game, and you realize it's nothing like the first one at all. It's different, way different. And you're like, well, let me go back to the first one then. You go back to the first one, and it's not the same because you played the second one, and now you understand. You understand more about the first game than you actually did, than you initially did, because you thought that the first game was an entirely different person, but then you realize that that's who they were in the second game, and now you have a different representation of them, of the game, and you're like, well, that's not what I wanted to play. That's not what I fell in love with. That's not what I really liked about the game. And you're like, huh. So then you go back to the second game, and you tell the second game, hey, I don't think it's working out. I'm not really interested in continuing this. Of course, you're going to finish the story, right? Because that's what you do with games. But if you had self respect, forget you would forget about the game. You would say, hey, it's not working out, and now I'm going to leave. And the second game says, no, why? I thought we were. And you're like, oh yeah, we were. We were. Everything was great. The first game was great. I loved everything about the first game. But the second game, I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it anymore. And okay, well, we can go back to the first game. Can't do that either. I already have a different perspective on the first game now. It's not gonna be the same. I'm different too. My game's different now. Like it's just different. It's different. Can't go back. But we can play the third game. There's that third game. There's about to be. I just I don't want to invest my time into playing the third game. And then you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll go pitch my game to someone else. And they're like, yeah, I like that. I wish you the best of luck, though. I hope that someone else likes your game, the first and second one. And you kind of realize that your your perspective on the first game was great, and your perspective on the second one, but your interest in the first and second game are both different because you grew as a person. And now, even if you were to get another game just like that, there is no other game like that game right there. That the game that you fell in love with, the game that you really liked, it's gone. It's over. And sometimes when you leave this game, the game is going to be plastered everywhere. Sometimes the game is just there and you can't get rid of it because it's not yours. It's not yours anymore, and the game has free will. And you hurt so much because the second game isn't yours. You didn't buy it. You couldn't buy it. You bought the first game, but the second game you rented. It was a rental. Ugh. And you can't go back to the first game either because the disc broke or something. And you don't want to see that game anymore because you start to resent it. Last of Us 2. And you're like, I don't want. I wish this game never existed, but it's too late. It's already in existence. You can't unerase something. The game's existence is not fortuitous. So, what can you do? If you love that game, and now you can't play that game anymore, what do? You find a new game. You find a new game, and you actually pay attention this time to the game. You'd be like, what do you mean? Well, the first game that you played, you weren't paying attention to it. You were just looking at the beautiful scenery. You were looking at how you could kill people all day. You weren't really paying attention to the story. You didn't really understand. And that's okay because you're growing as a person when you play those games. And you tend to understand. So when you find a new story, maybe take some time for yourself before you play a new game. Maybe watch some TV. Maybe watch stuff on, like, I don't know, you can watch anything. But the next time that you get into another game, you kind of have a deeper understanding, or you want to have a deeper understanding of that game. And you will know. And you won't play the whole first game with this new game. You will know soon enough if you like it or not. And you won't get your heart broken again. You will say, hey, I played like 20 minutes of this game and I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. You could feel it later on, but you could already tell that you're going to waste your time if you play any more. Give it like 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. You know that the game's not for you. You don't enjoy playing the game. Not like how you did the other one. But that one was new. That one was fresh. You just started playing that game. That was your first game. Second game, whatever. It was your first game that you played. And you really liked that game because you didn't understand all 20 aspects or all 30, whatever. All archetypes or what the game's archetype was. You didn't really understand that because you didn't know how to categorize. That's okay, because later on in life, you will understand, you'll get knowledge, you will learn. You will learn from your mistakes. So don't beat yourself up over it. Get up, go get another game, and try again. And maybe sometimes getting one game isn't enough. Maybe you have to get multiple games. Maybe you have to get multiple games because there's a whole bunch of genres out there. There's a whole bunch of genres. Go for it. Go for it. I'm telling you right now, just go for it. Because at the end of the day, your type of game isn't really your type of game unless you know all types of games. Because how do you not know that game over there, that little side scroller, how do you not know that that's your thing instead of shoot 'em ups, right? Huh? Oh, wow. See, you gotta think about this. You gotta think about it. And you're gonna be like, no, I like my shoot 'em ups. I love them. Okay, that's great. But what if you're over there and you're like, oh, puzzle game. I love puzzle games more than shoot 'em ups. But you never tried. You'll never know if you never try, right? Sometimes you just need to invest in your own game. Maybe you need to make your own game. Sometimes you don't need to play any of these games and just invest in your own game. And when you do that, And by the way, when you play all these other games, you also invest in your own games. So, moral of the story, just play a whole bunch of games. And then, when I mean play a whole bunch of games, I mean play everything. I'm talking about play as girl characters, guy characters. I'm talking about everything. Experience everything. Playing games is all about experiencing things. Just play the game. Play the game. If something doesn't resonate with you, say, okay, let me do it this way then. And then you're like, okay, that's better. That's better. And then eventually you will have a locked in archetype personality. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes you're always growing. But other times you lock it in. And that's not a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing. So, moral of the story, play all the games. Just play every single game that you could possibly find. Just play it. Just play it. But if you don't like the game, just get rid of the game. Get rid of the game. At the end of the day, the game has feelings too, so you need to be careful. You don't want to hurt the devs. Wait, no, that's... Yeah, I guess. You don't want to hurt the devs. Make sure that you're being considerate too about the devs' games feelings. But at the same time, your feelings matter too. So if you don't like something, you have to be upfront. You have to be honest. You can always find another game. There are so many games out there in the dev market, okay? And when you find the right game, you'll complete your own game. You'll make your own game, and you'll have such a great game. Everybody will love your game. Everybody. Does this make sense? Am I making... Is this... I'm so sick right now. What am I talking about? This whole thing 10 minutes long. Oh my goodness. Jesus.